How's it going, everybody? My name is Noah Holley, and welcome back to another episode of the Pride Report. Today, I'm joined alongside, once again, by Sean Bock. Sean, what's going on with you tonight?
Nothing much, Noah. Just going through these previews, grinding them out.
Absolutely.
March is here. I'm ready to get talking about some more college basketball.
As am I. So today, me and Sean will be breaking down the Big 12 as part of our 5-episode Champ Week breakdown series. Links are in the description below if you want to check out our other previews. Let's go ahead and get started. Here's a look at the Big 12 bracket itself. The Big 12 is without a doubt the most competitive league top to bottom in all of college basketball. There's not an easy win to be found, no matter the opponent in this conference, which was evident throughout league play. As you can see, Kansas won the regular season title, which of course happens to be their 14th in a row, considering the strength of the Big 12 and the lack of depth. Keeping this streak alive in 2018 may be Bill Self's most impressive coaching job ever. That doesn't mean that the Jayhawks are a safe bet to win this tournament. However, honestly, you could probably make a solid case for all 10 Big 12 teams. Over the next few minutes, we'll be breaking down the tournament from every angle, starting with the biggest storylines. What are some specific things we should be on the lookout for in this year's Big 12 tournament, Sean?
Well, as we know, the Trae Young phenomenon in Oklahoma took the college basketball world by storm towards the middle of the year, but since then, the Sooners have really struggled. They're 4-11 in their last 15 games, and no one's really stepping up to complement Trae Young. According to Lenardi, Oklahoma's currently at 9th seed, thanks to its quality wins at the beginning/middle of the season. It's crazy to see how much this team has regressed. We all thought they were a national title contender, and now we're asking ourselves if they really belong in the tournament. Which leads to my next storyline. Can Trae Young be Trae Young again? In the last 15 games, Young has put up decent numbers, but they're nowhere near the averages he had at the start of the year, which led to victories. Defenses has really started to adjust and really understand his tendencies, which is a big reason his effectiveness has decreased. So if Oklahoma wants people to remember how good of a team they really are, Young's going to have to step up and show he can perform at a high level once again. And what a perfect time than the Big 12 tournament to display his talent. And my next storyline is going to be, how does Kansas bounce back from its blowout loss against Oklahoma State? The Jayhawks just flat out bad against the Cowboys. I mean, Devontae Graham was the only player in double digits with 15 points. And the Jayhawks just looked careless on the offensive end, turning over the ball 17 times. The defense looked really bad. Oklahoma State shot very well from the field, although they're one of the worst teams shooting-wise in the Big 12. Both Texas and Iowa State have given KU good games this year, so it'll be interesting to see how Bill Self's team comes out and performs in their first matchup. If they can get a better effort from the supporting cast and step it up on the defensive end, I think they'll be okay, but we'll see. And then my last point is, can Baylor and Oklahoma State find a way to sneak in? I know I'm kind of going into your territory here, but Lenardi has Oklahoma State the first 4 out, and Baylor has the last 4 bye. Baylor's had an inconsistent season. They started out 2-7 in Big 12 play, then went on a 5-game win streak, which included wins over Oklahoma State, Kansas, Texas, and Texas Tech. Now they've lost 3 of their last 4, which has really hurt the NCAA tournament chances. But if they can get a win against West Virginia in the first round, I think they have a shot. I feel good based on their quality wins, but if they can't get past the Mountaineers, I'll be biting on my fingernails nonstop if I were the Bears. And next, Oklahoma State. First, let's just acknowledge the job Mike Boynton has done his first year. 18-3 record, just took over this team. No one really thought they had a chance at the tournament, but here we are today. So, Noah, I'm going to have you hit on the rest of the bracketology storylines.
All right. Now, as I'm sure you know, there's talk about 9 Big 12 teams potentially qualifying for the NCAA tournament. Honestly, I don't think we see that happen, even though I actually have 9 Big 12 teams currently in my latest projections. As of now, there are 4 Big 12 teams squarely on the bubble, and I would be surprised if every single one makes it in. Let's take a look at each team. We have Baylor and Oklahoma State, 2 teams that have played their way into the field over the last few weeks, with Baylor going on a 5-game winning streak in February, and Oklahoma State picking up 4 wins over top 20 teams as of late. None bigger than Saturday's blowout win versus Kansas, which Sean talked about a little bit earlier. I think a first-round win for both of these teams would put them in great position to make the field. As you can see, Oklahoma State will face Oklahoma today. That would be a Quadrant 1 win. Baylor will face West Virginia tomorrow, which would also be a Quadrant 1 win. As for Kansas State and Texas, Both teams are also squarely on the bubble, Kansas State especially. I believe that they have the weakest strength of schedule among Big 12 teams due to their horrendous out-of-conference slate. Their out-of-conference strength of schedule is 326th in the country, which is absolutely brutal. The Wildcats' best win in the non-conference came at home against Georgia in the SEC Big 12 Challenge, which is a Quadrant 3 victory. As for Texas, I feel a little bit better about the Longhorns' resume, but if they lose to Iowa State today, that could knock them out of the tournament. So all in all, we're looking at 4 teams hanging on by a thread here. And I didn't even mention Oklahoma, a team that the committee could potentially knock out due to how terrible they have looked down the stretch. I just don't see 9 teams making it in at the end of the day. Now let's get into the predictions. I'll start. My Big 12 dark horse is Oklahoma State. You can't go wrong with this pick, but I had to go with the Cowboys after their dominant showing in the win over Kansas. Offensively, this isn't the flashiest team in the Big 12, but OSU still has a lot of pieces. They have a great backcourt and 7 or 8 guys in total that can get big minutes and all contribute. Most importantly, OSU will be riding high after their season-altering win on Saturday. They will have as much momentum as anybody heading into the Big 12 tournament, which makes me think that they could be in store for a deep run if they can stay locked in. And my champion is Kansas. Even though the Jayhawks have had their fair share of bumps in the road in the conference slate, I still don't think that you can trust any more Big 12 team than them. I'm willing to bet that the Kansas team that showed up in Stillwater isn't the one that we will see show up in this tournament. In a way, I think the Oklahoma State loss will actually improve Kansas's chances of winning this tournament, as they will now come into Kansas City humbled and refocused. But I'll get to you, Sean. Who is your dark horse, and who do you have winning the Big 12 tournament?
I'm not sure if you consider my team a dark horse, but I would really like this West Virginia team, man. They've won 3 of its last 4. Javon Carter's been playing well. He can be the difference for them in March. He's the best player in this team. His leadership at the guard position is going to be the reason they make a huge run. Dexter Miles, a fellow senior, has also been playing well at the 2-guard spot. He's performed at a high level in order for his team to make a run. And the first-round matchup with Baylor will be a huge first touch for them. And then after that, a potential semifinal game against Texas Tech would be another huge game. So it's not going to be an easy road for the Mountaineers. But I'm just a sucker for teams who can play great defense. And I think West Virginia has that with their press and then their guards too, led by Javon Carter. So if I had to pick a dark horse, then I'm going to take the Mountaineers. But for my favorite, I'm going to take the Jayhawks of Kansas. I just have a hard time picking against them because every time I do, they prove me wrong, and I'm sick and tired of it. So I'm just going to, might as well just go with them. Devontae Graham deserved conference player of the year despite Trey Young's incredible stat line. He's going to do everything in his power to bring a Big 12 title back to Kansas. I think the loss against OK State was a fluke. The Cowboys played probably their best game of the season and shot the lights out. But I think with that, it's a wake-up call for the Jayhawks, and I think they're going to be battle-tested and ready to go for the Big 12 tournament.
All right, that is going to do it for today's show. Once again, links are in the description below if you want to check out our other major conference tournament previews. We will see you there.